Thank you. Well, thank you so much for that super kind introduction. Can everybody hear me okay if I just speak like this? Is that okay? Okay, awesome, great. Well, again, thank you so much for having me come in. I want to talk today about something that, we as eye doctors generally experience a lot but we don't actually, I think, realize just how much our role is in not just improving our vision of our patients, obviously the vision, but what about the rest of their lives? What impact are we having on their brain health, their mobility, their sleep, their mood, their, how happy they are? So it's actually, we have a role as eye doctors to really impact the lives of our patients. And I just wanted to go over some of the very interesting data that's come out over the last few, especially the last few years. So the window, the eye, it really is true that the eyes are really a window to the soul. So the retina obviously the retina is obviously neural tissue, but the brain actually is 30% of the brain is devoted to visual processing in some way or another, either direct visual processing or through higher order associations. So degraded input from the eyes to the brain can really dramatically affect the brain health. We're finding out more and more. It's not just hey, you have vision loss and okay, well, fix it if you want to. The brain actually is suffering in this situation. So it turns out that several key studies have found, especially in 2021, a meta-analysis have found that people who are at risk for vision loss actually have lower rates of cognition and actually increased risks of dementia. And specifically in 2024, the Lancet Commission specifically added poor eyesight to its prevention targets as a modifiable risk factor for treating dementia. So let's talk about this data specifically. So this is on this study by a meta-analysis by Shang et al. Looking at vision impairment and incidence of dementia. And this is of cognitive impairment after vision impairment. And what they found was looking at different, around the world, in length of follow-up of less than 10 years, over 10 years, in lower quality studies, higher quality studies, very consistently an increased relative risk in dementia in people who have vision impairment. And also cognitive impairment as well. It was a very clear association. But again, this is not a randomized trial, this is association. But a very clear association across many different studies. Also, Kazuma and others looked at the risk of dementia. So even, this is a study looking at mild vision impairment compared to no impairment at all, across multiple research studies found an increased risk of dementia. In the UK, they looked at different regions and they analyzed mild vision impairment versus more moderate to severe vision impairment, and also found a cumulative risk of increased risk of dementia. And looking at they did a follow-up study over many years and found a consistently clear interaction, almost a dose response, that the more vision impairment there was, the higher the risk of dementia. But again, not randomized control study. So how is this happening? So reduced visual input to the brain may be getting a degraded signal to the brain. When you have poor vision, there may be reduced ability to read or sleep, or you have less social interaction, less mobility, less exercise. So it's unclear what's causing this specifically. So it turns out there's actually some randomized studies who are randomizing people into vision improvement versus not vision improvement to see if there's something that can be gleaned from this. So looking at nursing home residents aged 55 or older with uncorrected refractive error. Okay, these are people who are correctable. And what they did, they actually randomized them into getting immediate spectacle correction. And the control group, they didn't leave the control group out. They said, okay, we're just going to wait on your spectacle correction for a few months. And so what they found was a significant finding was that the vision-related quality of life scores improved, and there were fewer depressive symptoms. We already kind of know this as eye doctors, that you put somebody's glasses on, you help them see, you could see they're happy right away. And the data supports this in a randomized manner. So also Coleman also studied this, and they did a randomized study of 131 community-dwelling adults, 65 or older, and they gave them eyeglasses or magnifiers or both. And what this study, this chart on the left shows that there's no statistical difference in their ethnicity or marital status, education level, or income level. There was no difference between the groups. But what they did find was that there was, of course, a vision improvement in the group, but they also found their mental health scores were improved in this group. So there's not a whole lot of randomized studies available, but this is some things that are just showing us. There's actually a study called the CLEVER study, which unfortunately just got initiated fortunately got initiated in 2025, but unfortunately we don't have the data yet. But this is something that's in the works right now, and this will hopefully answer even more questions. So what about if glasses help? What about cataracts? If you have a blocked, you're unable to see with a cataract, when do we send them for surgery? Is it just, well, if they're 20/40 or 20/60 or worse, and they have a complaint that's an ADL, then we send them for cataract surgery? Are we doing the right thing for our patients? Are we, if patients say, well, yeah, I can barely see the eye chart, but I feel fine, I have no problem, all I do is read and I'm happy. What is that doing to their brain health? So it turns out that there's a clear association between cataract surgery and the adult changes of thought study, looking at randomly selected patients through the Kaiser database. This is not randomized, but what they did was they tried to take patients with a diagnosis of cataract or glaucoma. They kind of used glaucoma surgery as a control group to compare these studies. And these patients did not have dementia at the time of diagnosis. So they also looked at patients who were just normal, no glaucoma at all. And what they found was there was a significantly reduced risk, about a 29% reduced risk of dementia compared to people without surgery who had also diagnosed with cataract. And they controlled for education level, and they also did something interesting. They looked at their genotype of the ApoE4 allele, which is very highly associated with dementia, and they controlled for a lot of these measures. And what they found was that overall, there was a lower risk of dementia in patients who had cataract surgery versus not. But again, observational study. So this is another meta-analysis looking at various different studies in a measure by Yep et al. And what they found was a very mild 4% improvement in cognitive scores after cataract surgery, and this is a pooled meta-analysis. But even more importantly, in the same study, they looked at cognitive impairment and dementia and found that there was a clear 25% reduction in, a 25% improvement in cognitive impairment and dementia, and this was very clear across multiple studies that the cataract surgery favored these findings. So this was actually a study, in this previous study, it was about 500,000 participants. So that's, it's very broad. All right, so then let's talk about now the depressive symptoms. So we talked about cognition and dementia. What about mood? So in this study, what they found was, a meta-analysis looking at multiple studies, and they found that cataract surgery did favor improvement in depressive symptoms. Cognitive function improved. So there is a clear association here, again, not randomized causation, association of improved brain measures of mood, cognition, and decreased risk of dementia. So how do we analyze this? What may be going on? So, well, I think I'm competing against a rock band here, huh? That's good. We have good music. So what might be happening? So somebody said, hey, let's do some MRI analysis before and after cataract surgery to see, what may be going on here. So in a study looking at functional imaging and structural imaging, what they found is differences in the brain. So they basically took patients who were cataract patients who were having cataracts, and this is again not randomized, but they took patients who were just age matched and matched across multiple demographics in controls and did functional imaging. They did a mini mental status examination, of course, visual acuity measures. And then in the cataract group, they did phacoemulsification, and they monitored these measures at week 1, 3 months, and 6 months. And what they found was that in patients with cataracts compared to controls, they actually had depressed areas of functional activity in their brain. And cataract surgery reversed those changes. So here this is a measure of functional brain activity, and the bluer, I can't really see this slide, but the cooler colors represent depressed activity, and the warmer colors represent increased activity. It turns out, it was very interesting that in cataract patients, somehow the brainstem had more activity than the higher cortical areas in patients with cataract surgery. In patients who had cataracts. So what happened after cataract surgery? So in this figure here, what they found was that after cataract surgery, there was increased in the occipital parietal areas of the brain, increased activity. And there was also decreased activity in the brainstem compared to that increased activity before the surgery. So this is actually showing, so that was functional brain activity. Now we're talking about structural brain activity. So in this slide, what they did was they looked at MRI before and after cataract surgery. And at 6 months, the yellow circles here represent the areas of increased gray matter after cataract surgery, increased gray matter. And they also found, so basically improving the vision to the brain, improved gray matter volume in these areas of the brain. So this is now a structural correlate of what happens to the brain after cataract surgery. So what might be going on here? So can vision loss, maybe it affects cortical atrophy. We're all familiar with kids and the important periods of amblyopia and the critical windows. So vision loss may have depletion of your cognitive reserves. There might be less physical activity, there's less social interaction, and also, that should say, decreased sleep or disruption in circadian rhythms with vision loss. So another neuroimaging study to kind of tease apart what might be going on here, a study looked at wet macular degeneration. This is something that generally happens one eye at a time initially. So what they found was individuals who had a deprivation in their macula from a new onset of wet macular degeneration, they actually had atrophy in corresponding areas of the brain after having this diagnosis. So what else could be going on? So let's talk about sleep. So in a study here in 2017, so they found that cataract surgery significantly improves sleep quality. Very interesting though, this was only for UVB correcting lenses, not the blue blocking lenses. And they also found cataract surgery increases melatonin secretion and peak salivary melatonin concentration. In another study, they looked at EEG measures of the brain, so they can look at REM sleep, and they compared groups of patients who are control, who did not have cataract surgery, and they compared cataract surgery in patients who had blue blocking lens implants, the yellow lens, compared to UV-only lenses, the clear cataract surgery lenses. and found that there was actually a change in their sleep EEG activity after having the surgery. And sleep is something that I don't have all the data here, something key, important linked to brain health and risk of dementia. So this summarizes the whole talk. I mean, we already know this. We've all experienced this for years and years as eye doctors. You know, correcting someone's vision, you see it right away. They're super happy. You could see that they're just, wow, they put the glasses on. As soon as they hit their eyes, they're like, there's a smile on their face. And it's such a rewarding field that we're in. I feel like I'm not even working sometimes when, you know, it's like post-op day one and patient walks in and you take off their thing and they're like, wow, this is great. I mean, it's just such a rewarding field we're in. And you guys don't even have to, you know, maybe do the surgery. Just pop the glasses on. They're super happy most of the time, hopefully. And, and then it's just a great field that we're in, that we can have the ability to not only, you know, really just improve someone's vision, we're improving their sleep, their mood, their cognitive scores, their risk of dementia goes down. We're really just brain doctors at this point. So, so I think I summarized all these things. I just wanted to thank you all for the opportunity to speak here.